For the first time, we have a nation for a continent, and a continent for a nation.
I act alone, live alone and think alone.
An Australian sentiment based upon the maintenance of racial purity.
But if, as I strongly suspect, it's nothing but piss and wind, I'll name it after you.
The conceit and self-complacency of the red feather men are equalled only by their incapacity.
First thing I did was to cut down the telephone rates.
And so it comes to this, that Australia's safety depends upon the unity and the strength of the Empire.
There are one or two things out of a long and fairly varied experience I would like to say to you.
The Australian government has inherited deficits from its predecessors.
It has been a great experience to me to visit Britain, the country from which we of the Dominions have inherited most of our traditions and most of our customs.
While in London, therefore, I will be representing the unanimous will of the Australian people.
This is not a question of colour or race. It's a question of the maintenance of democratic freedom.
I appreciate the great honour to be Prime Minister of Australia. Men and women of Australia, we are at war with Japan.
Ladies and gentlemen, I deem it quite an honour to appear before you this evening.
You might be interested to know of what Australia has received in the way of reparation, drawings and technical knowledge from Germany.
That you have an admiring friend, a staunch friend, that will be all the way with LBJ.
I'm glad to have been invited to speak tonight in support of Mr. Albert Cook, MLA.
The United States has achieved a great and peaceful triumph for mankind generally.
It's a strange thing, but everyone seems to think I'm a person of tremendous ambitions. I don't think I am. I'm a tremendous worker.
Well may we say, God save the Queen. Because nothing will save the Governor-General.
Life wasn't meant to be easy. No. Life isn't easy.
I tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum.
The answer is, mate, because I want to do you slowly. I want to do you slowly.
But we will decide who comes to this country and the circumstances in which they come.
To say to you, the forgotten Australians, and those who were sent to our shores as children without their consent, that we are sorry.
I will not be lectured about sexism and misogyny by this man. I will not.
This is not an easy day for many people in this building.
Leadership changes are never easy for our country.
Thank the Australian people for the support they've given me and my government over the last nearly 3 years.
Much has changed since the United Nations was established many years ago. Australia was there in the beginning, and we are here today.